What's going on, everyone, and welcome to the Vermintide 2 Unchained range tier list. Starting off in C tier, I've got the Flamestorm Staff. This is similar to Ironbreaker's Drake Gun. It's a close range, charge attack, kind of wide, damaging over time weapon. It's designed for hordes. It's designed for you to kind of charge it up all the way, and then like slowly kind of release it over the horde like a big flamethrower, pretty much. And while it's effective in doing damage, with the right setup, of course, it's not exactly an Unchained weapon, if that makes any sense. Unchained is all about overcharge management, a quick use of the staff to build up some overcharge, and then right back to melee for more melee damage. The Flamestorm requires you to have the staff out for a long time and deal with a horde. While it has its place, I don't really think it's very good on Unchained. It just doesn't synergize well with her. She's got like enfeebling flames, and that's really it. That's really the only talent that works with this staff. And that's just not enough to make it worth taking on her. You can do some decent damage to a horde, but you're either going to kill the majority of a horde, which is going to make it hard for your team to make temp health, or you're not going to be doing enough to a horde, which will leave it alive, which in that case there's no point in even taking the staff, because then you're just kind of useless. So C tier for the Flamestorm, absolutely. Bumping up to B tier, I've got the Conflagration Staff. Again, this is more of a crowd control weapon. It's got a small damage over time effect after a nice little, initial damage. This one, at least on Unchained, isn't really a big damage staff, but it's really good for staggering pretty much anything. Hordes, decent sized elites, even Chaos Warriors if you get them in the right animation, I guess, or before their animation kicks in. It's pretty decent for that. So it's good for like keeping things off balance, kind of knocking them around, still doing a little bit of damage. It's definitely better for overcharge management than the Flamestorm is. In my humble view, you can just kind of spam some lights into a horde, stagger it around, helps keep your team alive, and then you've got your overcharge. Bada boom, bada bing, just like that. Pretty decent weapon. Moving up to A tier, I've got the Fireball Staff. Now this is really the first staff that's kind of a more traditional quote-unquote overcharge management staff, which just means that it has the ability to be spammed in whatever way to get your overcharge up very quickly, so you can put it away and then melee. Basically, it's got a quick little charge that you can do. You can build that up, release it for more damage. Obviously, the more you charge, the more damage you do. It does a little bit bigger of a DOT effect than the Conflag Staff at full charge. And it can be used for hordes, it can be used for elites, even monsters. It doesn't do that much to monsters, I don't think. But it can be done in that way. The only issue with this one is that if you're not careful, you can do quite a bit of friendly fire with it, actually. Probably, I would say the Fireball Staff has the most friendly fire issues, more than any of them, including the Flamestorm Staff, just for people who are not all that careful, just because this one seems to get spammed the most. But if you use it properly, of course, it has its place. It's very effective and can definitely be a valuable overcharge management staff. Bumping up to S tier, I've got two staffs, the first of which is the Bolt Staff. Now this is more of a sniper type staff, really good for elites if you build it properly. Obviously you can deal with specials very well, but unlike your traditional sniper weapons like the Elf's Longbow, Kruger's Handgun, Pardon's Handgun even, it does not have a zoom function on it, so you're going to have to get used to aiming at things far away without zooming in, which can be weird at first. It takes a little bit of awareness of eyesight, but once you get used to it, I don't think it's that big of a deal. I think if you build this right on Legend, it's 2 headshots will be able to kill a Chaos Warrior with this thing. So I mean, this is a pretty powerful staff right here. It does big damage. You know, if you happen to hit your teammate with this, you will do maybe like throwing axe levels of friendly fire, which is a lot, but like, just learn to aim. Seriously, it's not that hard with this thing. It moves in a straight line. Just try not to hit your team. It's not a big deal, really. People make the bolt staff out to be a big friendly fire problem, but it's not. It's pretty good staff. It also, of course, has the spam function, which is kind of where your overcharge management comes into play in emergency situations. So you want to get it up for a horde real quick, you just spam it wherever, you know, preferably at the horde, but you don't have to. And then switch to your melee weapon of choice, and potentially up to 60% more melee damage with Unchained stacks. So that's pretty nice. The Bolt Staff, very good on Unchained, very good on all her classes in my opinion, but especially on Unchained, works very well. Also on S tier, my personal favorite for her, the Beam Staff. Just a beautiful, beautiful staff right here. I've said this before, but the Beam Staff can do it all. It can snipe, it can crowd control, easy for overcharge management. This thing is absolutely awesome. It can even do pretty decent damage to monsters. The friendly fire issues on this thing are pretty low. Most people know to avoid the giant ray of fire, you know, coming out of the staff and not walk through it. I guess it does happen sometimes, but it's easy not to hurt your team with this staff. It's a pretty easy to use staff. It's got the shotgun, of course, for hordes. It's got the left click, which you can hold for monsters, and then right click for a sudden big damage thing for specials. I mean, it's just a very good staff. Can do a lot of things. Very efficient, very fun to use, nice damage, and it works really good with Unchained. So that's my list, guys. S tier, I've got Beam Staff and Bolt Staff. A tier, I've got the Fireball Staff. B tier, I've got the Conflag Staff. And down in C tier, I've got the Flamestorm Staff. If you agreed with this list, let me know. If you disagreed, also let me know. I want to hear what you guys would change. If you would leave it the same, if you would change it, what would you do? What would your list be? I want to hear about it. Thank you. And until next time, take care.